Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Monday, May 9th, 2016. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. The Department of Education was on Friday, May 6th, the recipient of a donation which includes mathematics and science teaching resources and manipulatives, language arts materials, audiovisual aids and furnishings, as well as supplies for the Cicely Brown Integrated School. The supplies are a gift from John and Brenda Scanelli and the Bless the Children group from Virginia in the USA.
The Scanellis have willingly partnered with Nevis for several years, especially in the subject mathematics. They are deeply grateful to Tropical Shipping, who assisted with the ocean portion of the freight, and thanks to the company for their support in educating the youth. It is the Scanelli's desire to assist the teachers in preparing students for meeting the challenges of the 21st century by helping to create a learning environment where students are stimulated and encouraged to reach their highest and greatest potential. The teachers have waited a long time for these materials to finally get here, and the Scanellis invite you to give them some feedback on how the materials affect the students' understanding of mathematical and other concepts. They wish that everyone has as much fun using these materials as they did gathering and sending them.
Mathematics coordinator Sylvia Foy did the official handing over to the Ministry of Education on behalf of the Scanellis. Premier the Honorable Vance Emery accepted the donation in his capacity of Minister of Education.
I really would like to thank the Scanellis and those who assisted in getting the materials here to us. And while we are sometimes happy because of the standard of our education product, we cannot rest on our laurels, and we have to continue to strive for higher levels in every discipline, not just in math or history or science, but in every discipline. And I think the Scanelli's efforts in sourcing these materials and sending them to us must be very highly commended, and I want to thank them especially. I know that the teachers in the various schools and the various disciplines for which materials have been supplied will utilize the resources to deliver the best quality of education that we can offer.
Witnessing the presentation were Permanent Secretary in the Premier's Ministry, Wakely Daniel, Assistant Secretary Kevin Barrett, and other education officials. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force has announced the new head of the Nevis Division. A release from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force says Inspector Trevor Mills will assume the duties as commander of the Nevis Division. He replaces Hilroy Brandy, who was promoted to Deputy Commissioner of Police in February. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force on Friday, May 6th, announced the selection and promotion of 5 inspectors to the rank of acting superintendent. Also selected for promotion were Inspector Lyndon David, who will serve as the superintendent within the Service Improvement Directorate, Inspector Adolph Adams of the Special Services Unit, who will serve as the superintendent within the Operations Directorate, Inspector Diana Mills of the National Prosecution Service, who will be transferred to serve as the superintendent in the Crime Directorate, while Inspector MacArthur Brown will serve as the superintendent within the Administrative, Resources, Technology and Intelligence Directorate. According to the release, the selection of these officers for promotion was the result of a transparent and competitive process in which all eligible inspectors were encouraged to apply for consideration in the filling of vacant slots. As part of the process, each candidate also appeared before a panel and was interviewed. Commissioner of Police Ian Quealy has congratulated the acting superintendents and their families on behalf of the High Command and all other ranks, and encouraged them to continue to give of their best as they strive to make the Federation a safer place to live, work, and do business. Today, Monday, May 9th, marks the start of Nurses Week. The week, which has been celebrated under the theme Nurses, a Force for Change, Improving Health Systems Resilience, will examine the role of nurses as part of the health system to enable it to effectively respond, adapt, and strengthen its capacity to perform when exposed to challenges that include but are not limited to disease outbreaks and natural disasters.
I take the opportunity to applaud the nurses who work at the 6 health centers on Nevis, and also those who work at our Alexandra Hospital, who through their efforts have not only made the health system resilient, but the economy as well, as a nation's health determines its wealth. The management of NCDs and sustaining the health gains attained through the expanded program on immunization represent part of the Sustainable Development Goals, which address healthy lives and the promotion of well-being for all ages.
Minister of Health, the Honourable Mark Brantley, who in an address officially declared the week open, said the role of nurses in the advancement of health technology is also of critical importance.
This is particularly important as we strengthen data collection to enhance quality care. In this vein, nurses have been trained in the operations of the soon-to-be-implemented Electronic Hospital Information System. As we further examine our health data, which depicts an increase in intentional and unintentional injuries, including road accidents, we also recognize the importance of introducing new services at the Alexandra Hospital. In this regard, we applaud the nurses who recently formed part of the inaugural neurosurgical team, which will not only benefit those injured in road accidents, but others as well.
A resilient health system, Minister Brantley noted, not only ensures universal access to health workers, but ensures that policies are in place to guarantee that services are available, accessible, acceptable, and of good quality.
As we move towards the realization of universal health insurance, we commend nurses for not only providing clinical skill, but also being a part of legislation and policy development. Nurses have been leaders in the development and revision of the Nurses and Midwives Act, as well as various other health legislation. The contribution of nurses will continue to be critical to health systems development. As nurses celebrate this week, in recognition of the birthday of the mother of nursing, Florence Nightingale, on the 12th May, I encourage the general public to reflect on the health achievements attributed to nurses, and I ask you to support nursing professionals not only during this week, but always.
Nurses Week will run until Sunday, May 15th. Still to come.
We are an online media company. We have launched our services, and so our website now is.
The details after this break.
Circus, Afro, circus, Afro, circus, Afro, circus,
Celebrating the old, showcasing the new. Culturama 42.
Welcome back. A company led by former press secretary to the Premier brands itself as an online and on-demand platform producing programs which touch a variety of issues in the community. Assistant Vice President J.D. Keynes explained some of what the company does at its launch earlier today.
We are an online media company. We have launched our services, and so our website now is www.thg-network.com, and so you're able now to log on to that site and access season 1 of all of our shows, the news as they become available. You would also be able to access the documentaries and anything else that we offer at THG. That is where the business minutes that we've been talking so much about on Facebook would be posted, and anything that has to do with THG Network will be featured on www.thg-network.com. For season 1, the shows we are rolling out with are Out and About, Island Eating, The Mervyn Hanley Show, The Real Right Unleashed. We also have THG Talk, and THG documentaries.
Quite a number of business leaders, as well as a few politicians, including Premier the Honorable Vance Amory and Leader of the Opposition the Honorable Joseph Parry, attended the mid-morning event and congratulated Hanley and his staff for the initiative.
It's a new venture, and I can only say as a new venture that we wish it well, and it would just like the venture to be guided by certain very fundamental principles which govern small businesses. And if those principles are followed, I'm sure things could go well. And I hope, by God said, that it is successful.
I think this is a great idea, very ambitious and very far-reaching. I hope it will impact not on just Nevis alone, but the whole Caribbean, because this kind of idea is a big idea for Nevis, and therefore we have to reach to a broader public, wider public, Caribbean, and as far as North America. The good thing is we can sell our culture. This is one of the ways to sell our culture, and as I said earlier, it's very important that you have different persons bringing news and views and opinions, because democracy cannot thrive unless you have a free press and an active press.
Executive Director of the Culturama Secretariat, Abernathy Liburd, also witnessed the THG network launch and was positive about the outlook, especially as it relates to Culturama.
I think it's a very good initiative. I think that it is one that is going to move the entertainment industry in Nevis up a notch on the ladder. In terms of the media, it's going to move the media operations here in Nevis a notch higher on the ladder. And as I said, for us at Culturama, it's an outlet that we are considering. We are hoping to foster some kind of relationship with THD in terms of getting our content out and about as it relates to the festival.
The website went live today with the first episode of the various shows. As part of Agriculture Awareness Month, the Department of Agriculture has embarked on a tree planting initiative in collaboration with the Organization of American States OAS, the Venezuelan Embassy, and Earth Day SKN. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Eric Evelyn, told us about the activity.
This ceremony actually is a belated ceremony which forms part of Earth Day activities. Earth Day was celebrated on the 22nd of April, and the OAS, in partnership with the Venezuelan Embassy and Earth Day SKN, as well as the Department of Agriculture, we have joined hands in planting trees at some of the schools around the island, and this is just the start of a bigger project that is being spearheaded by the OAS and SKN and the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so we're here. This is the start of the process this morning. We will actually be planting trees at 7 of the schools on Nevis, as well as the craft house. And as I said, this is a gesture as a part of Earth Day 2016.
Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Vance Amory, was present at the tree planting exercise and gave his support to the initiative.
This tree planting ceremony today is part of that effort to engage in that partnership to ensure that the people of Nevis generally and our students here at Cicely Brown Integrated become an important part in the preservation of our planet, but also to do whatever we can in our little way to be part of the fight against climate change and the devastating effect which it could have.
OAS representative to St. Kitts and Nevis, Terence Craig, outlined the aim of his organization.
This is part of a wider initiative that we are trying to bring into the Federation, namely to plant 55,000 trees between now and 2020. It is 1 tree per person, and we're going to plant some trees today, but also we would like to bring awareness about what climate change is all about. Therefore, we have the Climate Education Week as part of one of the activities of Earth Week in the schools, and that will be an ongoing process as well. So we look forward to work with the Ministry of Education here in Nevis as well, and the other partners, to also bring the Climate Education Week to Nevis and to bring some awareness about climate change, because climate change is real and we have to take measures. So in that regard, this ceremony is very opportune, and we would like to see more of these initiatives.
The students of the Cicely Brown Integrated School, along with the staff at the Department of Agriculture, planted a few fruit trees as the teachers and other staff members, as well as other officials, looked on. And that concludes this evening's presentation of the Nevis Newscast. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing. Good night.